Kia ora, good evening and welcome to 0800 Tardis News. Shall we say, for our attempt to get our live cross to Sydney. So what's happened in the last week? We've had the Doctor Who World Tour and we're getting the inside goss. So crossing live over to Sydney is Andy Pulzar. How's it going? And did I say your last name right?
Going good.
Going good?
Yes. Yes, you did.
So, Doctor Who World Tour, how was it?
It was pretty blooming good, really. It was pretty amazing experience. Really, really, really well run. BBC pulled out all the stops for the big promo event, and very interesting to see one official event as opposed to sort of the fan run events that you normally attend.
Oh, okay. And how many people attended the event?
In Sydney, I think it was 2,100 they reported. It was a pretty good turnout.
It's not bad.
And the whole thing sold out in the space of minutes on each release of the tickets. So it was very, very popular, which was, it was great. And so cool to be in a room full of just so many other ardent fans that were just so happy to be there, happy to experience Deep Breath as one of the first on the planet, and also to get to kind of meet Peter and Jenna on stage for the first time. Well, Peter for the first time. And, brilliant. Really, really good.
And with every penny going to it?
I'd say so, yeah. You do kind of feel like they charged more for the Sydney ticket than what they did for tickets in other parts of the world, which I think there are a few fans that were a bit disgruntled about. But it's a long way to fly, and I guess they've got to cover their costs. And
well, that is a point.
Yeah, it's that tough call. The BBC could probably pull out the stops, but then if they weren't able to charge a full ticket fee, they might go, well, we're just not going to bother coming. So you just got to sort of spin it out.
It
was all right. But it was I felt I got value for money, and it was a great experience.
All right, and what's it? As we go, how long do you think Peter will play the Doctor?
Well, we already know he's signed for the next season, season 9. So I'd say we've got him for at least 2 years. I suspect him being the avid fan that he is, barring anything happening in his personal life, I reckon he'll be around for 4 or 5 years at least.
So he could be doing another Tom Baker. 7 years, possibly, or?
Well, Tom was 7. I think any actor, once they get to that sort of 4 or 5 year mark, is probably getting to the point where they're ready to outstay their welcome. The sort of the run that Tennant had was probably about optimal, really, for a modern day Doctor, I think. And they did an amazing job of passing the baton to Matt Smith. Now they've passed it to Peter Capaldi, and I think they're in for a good few seasons. And he's an amazing Doctor. Wait till you see the episode next week. It is just phenomenal. And he's just brilliant in the role. He brings a whole different kind of feel to it, to what you got with the past 3 Doctors. And it sort of takes it back a little bit to kind of the classic era, which for me as a classic era fan is pretty cool.
Oh, okay. And any autographs at all?
No, there was no opportunity for the fans to actually meet the cast at all. It was a whistle-stop trip, and because it was pouring down with rain, there was not even a red carpet where people could kind of see them walk into the theatre. They got kind of, from what I understand, hustled in via a back door. Whereas I've seen video of Seoul and of the performances in the UK at Cardiff and in London, where people were lining the sort of the red carpet and getting signatures and photos and stuff. None of that in Sydney at all, unfortunately. So we did kind of miss out a little bit in that. And they also kind of missed 1/3 of the party as well, and leaving Stephen Moffat behind. He didn't come and visit with us down under. I noticed that he was in New York, so I feel a little bit ripped that we didn't get to see Mr. Moffat.
He might not.
I've been a fan of his since coupling days, but it was.
He might not like jet lag.
Peter Capaldi is the star of the show, and that's the one you most want to see. So it's fine.
Well, that's true. That's true. Also, what media presence were there? Were there any big flash wacky names like BBC? Well, not BBC so much. ABC. I think that's the Australian equivalent.
Well, BBC and ABC reporting on it because BBC were obviously BBC Worldwide running the tour, and then the ABC are the local broadcasters of Doctor Who in Australia, so they did have a small presence. But the fan event itself, they already had a media sort of showing earlier in the day with Peter and Jenna there, and they showed it to a whole pile of TV execs and that sort of stuff. So I think a lot of the media kind of bits and pieces were already done. There was obviously a reporter there from the Sydney Morning Herald because it was a write-up the following morning, reporting on things that have been said in the Q&A. And I know there was probably a couple of other people that have been involved in different things that might have been along just to check it out from a fan point of view. But no real official media presence as such that I'm aware of.
No one hassling fans as they go out the door.
Written up or reported on it. They did appearances on a couple of TV shows and stuff, which they recorded during the day, but obviously it wasn't part of the fan event.
Okay. Now, Doctor Who, should it be filmed down under?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely?
Without a doubt. Look at all the location possibilities we've got. We've got all of the, if they wanted to bring Weta in to do the visual effects, then just all the better. And when you've got someone like Peter Jackson who's keen to get behind the director's lens, well, why wouldn't they?
Well, exactly. Yeah, that would. Yeah. Also, if Stephen Moffat retires, or when, would you say Neil Cross could be a potential contender for the showrunner of the show? Kiwi writer?
Yeah, I reckon Neil would be great, actually. It'd be awesome to have a Kiwi showrunner. I think the biggest problem is, doesn't Neil still live in Wellington?
Yeah, I know.
He commutes to do Luther and stuff. But
I know. I
quite how that would work from a showrunner's point of view, but I'm sure that's just logistics.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should sit there and do some investigation and do a knock on the door. I think I might have the police on my doorstep, so I might have to send a letter first, but, I mean, do some investigative work and find out.
I think Neil Cross would be brilliant. I think... Yeah, I think Neil Cross would be brilliant. I think there are a couple of other guys that have definitely got hats in the ring. Well, certainly, I would say Mark Gaddis has got a hat in the ring. Just makes sense. He's such good friends with Stephen.
Yeah.
He's been so heavily involved from the relaunch of the show. And they're obviously not that super busy with Sherlock. So
at this point,
I think there's possibly an opportunity to pass the baton there. And personally, for me, I would like to see Neil Gaiman as the showrunner, but realistically, it's probably never going to happen because he's got so many other things going on, TV series being made of American Gods and movie being made of Sandman and the like. But to my mind, I think Neil would bring just something incredible to the showrunner's role, although his last Sidemen story wasn't the best story out of the last season, but oh well. So yeah, that would be, I think Neil would definitely be on the shortlist for me though. Neil Cross, that is, as well as Neil Gaiman.
Now, something you've told me off air, you're a bit of a local celebrity when it comes to Christchurch on the radio. So you could probably tell us a little bit of, what any spoilers get released on your radio station or that sort of thing, or does it have a Who presence in some way?
Doesn't really have a Who presence as such. It's a dance music station that I run in Christchurch, so it's pretty much 24/7 doof doof. I probably do give it a little bit of a sci-fi lean occasionally. I certainly know after seeing Guardians of the Galaxy recently, I was quite positive in my review and encouraging people to go along and check it out. And I'm quite open about the fact that I've got a bit of a geek background, but I've been a sci-fi fan pretty much all my life since my dad took me to Star Wars at the age of 7, and I started the New Zealand Doctor Who fan club with a couple of friends when I was 17, and I've just always sort of followed sci-fi and been a bit of an avid fan and done other stuff in media as well. Like we've worked on film stuff, we've done a radio station and things like that. So yeah, it keeps you out of mischief and it keeps life being varied as well. I love the fantasy and the scientific thought and the theories that you can have over time travel and that sort of stuff and all that kind of thing. It's brilliant, but not everybody shares that, so you don't kind of want to go on about it too much on the radio.
Well, that's a point.
Unless I created myself a sci-fi time slot, which I haven't actually thought about doing.
Might be an idea.
Something I should look into.
Now, Jenna Coleman heading to Armageddon in Melbourne. Oh, I hope she sits there and signs up for Auckland because it's only a week later. Will you be going over to Melbourne to see it?
No, I would love to, but I've got 2 young kids and just can't get away. I've been really hoping that Bill would sort it out so that she'd come to Sydney as well, and I'll be looking around to see if there's anything happening at the same time. But for the moment, I think I'll just have to take the eye connection that I got with Jenna on Tuesday night, like where she caught my eye at one point during the proceeding. That was my moment. At least I'm saying to myself it was.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. No, well, we're hoping she does come to Auckland as well. It hasn't been confirmed, but, you know, we're only a week later and a 3.5 hour flight from Melbourne. So it's not that far away.
Now, did you see the news? You saw the news today about Jenna?
Yes, by the Mirror. Can we believe it? But
new rumours.
Yes, she could be leaving after 18 months. I know. Actually, yeah, that is kind of breaking news. We got it off the press.
It will be longer than 18 months. Once she actually does go to leave, it will be much longer than 18 months because obviously...
Actually, didn't she do the Asylum of the Daleks?
For a year in the middle. That's been a year shooting the new series.
Yeah, because also she was in Asylum of the Daleks as well, where she was Oswell.
Right.
Her introduction of her character. So, yeah, she has been filming on there for quite a while. God. So, that's a long time.
Well, it was interesting, like she was saying with Asylum, she was saying in the Q&A that the stuff she did for Asylum was pretty much just her in a studio in complete secrecy in green screen because she didn't interact with any of the other actors, which was quite interesting. So I'm trying to remember if that was included in the footage that they put up for public consumption. I don't know if it was. So, but yeah, I think she's been an amazing companion, and whether she leaves at Christmas or sticks around, I've enjoyed her run, and I'm looking forward to the next season.
Yeah.
And we'll just see what happens.
Now, would you support a 26-week season for Doctor Who rather than a, 13, or would you stick with the 13?
No, I think the biggest problem you have with anything of a creative nature is keeping it consistent, keeping the quality there. I think, like, the key thing that they've got to do with Doctor Who and with any good sci-fi show is, and fantasy as well, is make sure you tell a really strong story with good arcs and don't just get wishy-washy and have filler episodes. And the problem that you have is the moment you get past 10, 12, 13 episodes, you've got to create fill because it's getting too long to stretch a story out. And you look at the sorts of stories that are coming through now and the way HBO has revolutionized the TV industry, and it's happening now with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the new Marvel show. They're doing Agent Carter as well, which is going to be a short run, is to break Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. up into 2 sort of unique seasons, pre-Christmas and post-Christmas, with Agent Carter in the middle. You've got the True Detective, you've got all of the Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, all those kind of shows, keeping it very short, very sharp, and just really effective. That's good storytelling, and it's a good way to produce a show. I would much rather have better quality shows than a whole pile of average crap, because let's be honest, okay, I'm a fan from the 80s. There are a lot of very average stories of Doctor Who, where they needed to fill 4 episodes or 6 episodes, and if you'd taken an editing knife to it, you could have trimmed those episodes down to a really tight hour or hour and a half.
Well, there was...
So, to my mind,
there was one episode of William Hartnell's where they got stuck in the Tardis. The story behind it was they ran out of budget. So they had it where they were stuck in the TARDIS for 4 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, so that that was an example of where it did go wrong, and that was when they were running a 40-week season. I think that's season 1. I think was run for 40 weeks or something crazy. And they could explain why William Hartnell had a couple of heart attacks during filming and afterwards, and it was his highlight of his career, but it's what ended his career. Yeah, so yes, you do have a point there, and also it takes away other opportunities for filming. Like I think Matt Smith last year, between the 50th anniversary and the Christmas episode, he did something else, and unfortunately he had to cut his hair off.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he shot a Hollywood movie, and that's why they cut his hair, and he had to have the hairpiece wig thingy for the Christmas episode.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us all the way from Sydney. I have to say, and thank you for joining us at such a late time at night. Yeah, and hopefully we can get you more on the show. When are you next due to check over in New Zealand?
Check in from time to time. You've got to when you've got friends and family over there. So, but again, we'll normally be Christchurch. So.
Oh, okay. Not quite Wellington. That's all good. Now,
not at the moment.
Yeah. Now,
my business partner's in Wellington at the moment. Actually, he's doing some work there.
Oh, okay. Now, for screening of Doctor Who, ABC Australia, do they have a time announced for it on ABC One?
Yes, they're screening it live, simulcast with the UK.
Ooh.
So I think it's 4:30 in the morning on ABC One, and then it's replayed Sunday night at 7:30 for anyone that doesn't want to get up at stupid o'clock. And then it's also available on their streaming service, which works on all smart TVs and well as tablets and computers and things. So they're very proactive with it, which is really good. I was actually really, really disappointed when I saw that Prime have announced that they're going to delay it a week.
Yeah, I mean,
in NZ, which I was just like, why would you? That's just stupid.
Yeah, well,
this day and age, I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, they
piracy.
Still haven't even.
Really dumb.
Yeah, they still haven't announced a date for us Kiwi fans. But my prediction is September the 5th, going by the record of 12 days. They are usually 12 days behind the UK. So I think September the 5th, which, is quite a while back, but you can
I think you're a week out.
Yeah, a week and a bit. Because it's Thursday night.
I think it's going to be Sunday from the people I've been talking to, they're thinking it could be Sunday of the following week. There's something that's currently on the schedule. It might have been the Musketeers or something that's wrapping up. There's got one episode left to go, which is next weekend, which would have been the first episode, and they're theorising that Who will take that time slot the following week.
Okay. Well,
so yes, they haven't officially announced anything, but I've seen correspondence between network executives and Doctor Who fans with winks in it, implying that yes, it'll be a week's wait. Okay.
Well, that's different from my source, from the Waikato Times, who has said, I've seen the TV schedules, and you could be on the money. So that could be so a week away. I think is a.
TV schedules can be a bit notoriously incorrect, though, especially if they haven't finished scheduling anything. But
correct.
It's an interesting one. I guess we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Also, for the fans down in Wellington or anywhere in the country, really, I will be at Deep Brief screening at the Embassy Theatre in Kent Terrace in Wellington. Hopefully, we're going to. I'm still in negotiations to get video filming in there. They're a little bit iffy on it. So we'll see how it goes. So that will be next week on the 24th, Sunday. So you'll see me down there with my camera and my camera people. And Brian will also be joining us, who occasionally joins me on the other seat here. Also, while we're on our partial political series, where we have got some of our politicians, we're trying to sit there and hijack the thing to get more views on our, YouTube and our followers and all that. I've got Gareth Hughes, the ICT spokesperson from the Greens, who is going to appear on the show. I'm also in negotiations with Chris Farfoy from Labour, and we're going to see if we can get Craig Frost from National on the show. And also, as Josie Picardi unfortunately had to mention on Q&A, New Zealand, that Colin Craig could play Doctor Who. So we might get Colin Craig to say, well, if he didn't get into the election, would he pursue the role of Doctor Who? I know it's a no, but hey, we can always sit there and put the tease on him. You know, hey, why not get some free press coverage, as they say. Now, I'll let you have enjoyed a little short clip here of the opening for the Sydney Doctor Who World Tour, and then we'll sit there and finish off with our final messages.
Where am I? Where are you? Where are you there?
So what do you think of the opening of the World Tour? Was it at Sydney? It was quite good with the way how Peter's come onto the stage. Not sure what else. While we were sitting there having a quick talk, we were talking about potential Kiwi doctors. Now, Ben Barrington is a potential doctor. I mean, that's what you said, Andy.
Yeah, I think Ben would be an amazing doctor. He's got a unique look because he's bald, but he's just brilliant. Just such an amazing, amazing actor. Pursuit of Happiness, TV series shot in Wellington. It's brilliant in that, and amazing in The Almighty Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
So I reckon he would be a phenomenal doctor. In fact, to be honest, I think the other person, now I'm just thinking about it, the other person that would absolutely blow the part out of the water would be Shane Cortese if he played him like he played Loki in The Almighty Johnson. Actually, I'd put the two of them up there. I think they'd both be
two
amazing.
of them up there. Possibly could have a regeneration malfunction.
You know what? Shane Cortese for the Master.
Yeah, actually, yes, he would play the Master very well. Yeah, because he did play Loki very well in The Almighty Johnson.
Yeah, he would be an amazing Master.
Yeah, I think he does also suit those more villain-type characters.
He just stole the show.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, I think the Master, that would be genius. I think Shane Cortese for the Master, Ben Barrington for the Doctor.
Well, hey, you never know, with Doctor Who Down Under, that's who it could be. Okay, well, thank you for joining us all the way from Sydney. Yeah. And, you know, hopefully when you're over in New Zealand, we'll see you. And thank you for the fans for watching. And, you know, make sure you check out our last show, Mounting with Lila Hari. Make sure you check out our next show when it gets uploaded. And all the shows, as you know how it all goes. You know, the more fans, the more views. So make sure you give me the thumbs up as well. Because, I mean, you know, I think I do a great job doing these shows. And, you know, that's how it goes. So you can either see us online, on the show, or in person. And thank you for watching. Good night.